Welcome everyone, my name is LikeIt's1985 and this is my review of Transformers Dark of the Moon Deluxe Class Starscream. And most of you have seen pictures of this before or watched the few reviews that are currently up on YouTube, but here is another look. And I really like the Cybertronian tattoos on this particular figure on Starscream. I at first didn't really like that look, but it's kind of grown on me. But as you can see here, amongst all the lines, you can see the Decepticon logo or symbol, as well as another symbol there on the other wing. And as we take a look at the jet mode here, it looks really nice. And we take a look underneath here, you can see everything's nice and compact, so you don't see any feet or claws or that sort of thing, which is really nice. I like that, it looks good. But you can see here it's got the ginormous mech tech weapons, which on some of these Dark of the Moon figures they look good, on some of them and not so much. This is okay. I like the fact that these are actually bladed weapons, but I'll get to that later. Let's go ahead and do some size comparisons. Now, it's generally understood that these Dark of the Moon figures are smaller than the previous movie figures. So let's just do some comparisons here. First I'm going to take classic Skywarp, and you can see them side by side here. A lot of people have this particular mold, whether it's Skywarp or Acid Storm or what have you. Basically it's the same, so you can kind of get an idea there of the size. Now if we take a movie line figure like Swerve, that's when it kind of becomes a little more ridiculous. Swerve really shouldn't be this big, or vice versa. You could say that Starscream in jet mode shouldn't be this small. But there you go. And I'll get more into some comparisons of Starscream in robot mode later. But let's go ahead and get into the transformation. So I'm going to go ahead first and take off these mech tech weapons. You can see they just peg in there into the ports. I mean, if you really wanted to, you could, peg them in back here or here, but really they're meant to go under the wings. And as you can see, you can reverse them. You can have the blades pegged in so that the blades are pointing forward, but it's just kind of an option if you want to. Landing gear, go ahead and put that up here. And the landing gear at the rear just simply folds to the side, as you can see. By the way, the tip here is soft plastic, as you can see there. Alright, so transformation wise, the tail fin go down like that. Then you want to grab this section back here, pull it up, and what you want to do is actually pull it up and out a little bit, because if you don't do that, you're not going to get clearance later on. So you want to have it just like that. It's kind of on a it's a hinge joint, but it's hinged in two locations, so it bends at 2 points, as you can see there. So you want to have it like that, and then you want to start with the legs here. So I'm going to rotate this down like that. So you've got it looking like that now. Then you want to pull the legs to the side like that, and then come around here. This is going to be the front of Starscream. Then what you want to do is you want to take this section here, rotate it up like that, rotate this down, rotate that, and the landing gear becomes kind of like the heel spur. So it's going to look like that, and just do the same thing on the other leg. Like so. So now what you want to do is you want to take and push up on both wings. There is a joint here that will pop up, and I'll show you that right now. You can see maybe just in there how it pops up. It's not, it raises up above the main body of the jet, and you want to do the same thing on the other side, like so. You can see there's a gap there where you can see where it pops up. Then what you want to do is you want to take what become the arms, you want to pull them straight out, like so. And what you want to do is you want to take this gray section and rotate it out, like that. And then just kind of rotate up the shoulder, like so. And just get the arms out of the way for now. I'm going to take this, rotate it up, fold out that piece so it looks like that. Same deal over here. Then what you want to do, take this crotch piece here, fold it down, come around to the top here, and you want to grab onto this panel here, fold it up. There you can see the head. And what you're going to do is you're going to pull down like so. Well, actually, sorry, you need to actually fold this down and then pull down. And you can see how this is going to become the chest. And this should just sit in there like that. And then rotate the nose cone down so that it actually sits in this area there. And then you put the crotch piece up like that. Then what you want to do is you want to take the wing here, rotate it up, and it sits about like that. And just will fill in the gap on his upper torso. Come back here, fold this back up, and there are some tabs here which should tab right into these slots right there and there. And that's why I say you want to make sure you have this joint like this, because if you don't, they won't line up. But now if we push them in, and actually what I need to do is rotate. I rotated up these too far because they're not lined up, so alright, there we go. Sorry about that. Is you can squeeze these up a little bit further so it kind of fills in the chest a little bit better. But what happens if you do that is you misalign the slot with the tab. So anyways, what you're going to do with the arm, rotate it like that, bring out the hand. Alright, so there you go. Let's have a look at Starscream in his robot mode. Do a little 360 action here. Now, this guy, as we'll see in the size comparison in robot mode, is pretty short. But let's go ahead and go over articulation first. The head swivels. You've got articulation at the shoulders, ball jointed elbows. I mean, the wrist can go in and out like that due to transformation. There really is no waist articulation. Legs are on a ball joint, and then you've got the chicken legs here. So that's really it for articulation. Now, I mentioned before the MechTech weapons. Now they can peg into the side and the ports here. You can have them like that, with the blades facing forward, or you could rotate them around, you know, and have the gun pointing forward, like so. I mean, you still have the blades showing, but you have the guns pointing forward. Now these do combine, which is kind of nice. Which is what I really like about this particular MechTech weapon, is you can take these two weapons and combine them like so. And what I find is it's easier just to go ahead and manually move this out like that. You can see how that works there, and then insert the other MechTech weapon. And as you can see, it makes a really nice weapon. And you can see here there's an incredible amount of detail. Silver paint apps, detail plastic molding, as you can see. So very nice. And you could peg this weapon on him like so. And I'm not very good at posing this, but you know, you get the idea. You can have it kind of standing off to the side like that, or if you wanted to, you could, you know, peg it to the back like that, although that looks kind of ridiculous. But you can also separate the weapons, you know, and peg them in for storage mode. Like that. Alright, well, let's take a look at some size comparisons. As you can see here, we have Starscream with Deluxe Class Revenge of the Fallen Sideswipe. And here is Dark of the Moon Deluxe Class Starscream next to the movie Deluxe Class Barricade. Once again, I think Starscream is too small. And finally, here is Starscream next to Deluxe Class Hunt for the Decepticons Ironhide. And last but certainly not least, here is a group shot of all the figures lined up. And I'll let you decide whether you think Starscream is too small. I think he really is. But the reason I'm showing this again is just to give you an idea, hopefully a better idea of the size of Starscream as he compares to the previous movie and Revenge of the Fallen toy line. But I think it's too small in comparison. I mean, he's still a nice figure, but I just don't know why they decided to scale down some of these Dark of the Moon figures. So my final thoughts on this pre-release Dark of the Moon Deluxe Class Starscream figure. Well, first off, I have to say the quality of this pre-release toy is very, very good. The joints were tight, there were no paint application problems, and a lot of the times with these pre-release Transformers figures, a lot of times you have a good chance of getting a quality control reject, something that the factory decided was not good enough to sell at retail. And you do run that risk. Don't, you know, make no mistake. I'm also pleased with the seller. The seller on eBay is iTransformer, and in no way am I promoting him. However, if you're interested in picking up pre-release Transformer toys, this is a person you can trust, because I got my particular pre-release Starscream very quickly, considering that the seller was based in Hong Kong, so it got to me very quickly. And that certainly doesn't mean that you'll always have good luck with overseas sellers, or that you'll always get a good pre-release Transformer toy. It's not always the case. You do run some risks, but in my case I did luck out, I guess. Alright, well, thanks for watching. This has been my review of the pre-release Dark of the Moon Deluxe Class Starscream.